when cocky fighters get destroyed. In fighting, you have your clever fighters and your not-so-clever ones. The clever ones are the fighters who get the last punch or kick in. The not-so-clever ones are the fighters who get a little bit too sure of themselves and end up with egg on their faces or faces on the mat. Why do some fighters have to be so big-headed? They seem to think that they've got the fight all sewn up, so much so that they feel it's okay to tease their opponent before the fight has even reached its conclusion. In this video, we're going to take a look at a few clips of those hilarious cocky fighters who get destroyed and are made to look not so clever. Before we get into our list, remember to give us a thumbs up and a quick click on our subscribe button to get more videos like this one and support Brutal TV. Thanks! But for now, let's look at some of the cocky fighters that get destroyed. Our first clip takes us to a boxing match between Mickey Garcia and Elio Rojas. The thing you have to remember with this fight is that Garcia, in the white shorts, had not fought for 2.5 years. Maybe Rojas thought he had this one in the bag right from the start. We joined the match in round 3, and by all accounts at this point, it's a pretty fair fight. But it's not long before Rojas is doing what can only be described as an impression of King Kong, smashing his fists on his chest, which is just the sort of encouragement Garcia needed to show the crowd what he's made of. He gets Rojas cornered, and with 3 punches to the face, Rojas is down. Not a happy man, but he manages to get back on his feet. We then rejoin the fight in round 5, and by this time, Rojas is starting to panic, making some awkward moves, trying to avoid the rain of punches coming in his direction. At one point, Rojas even puts his hands down by his side, which then gives Garcia the opportunity to knock Rojas down for the 3rd time in the fight. But that's not the end. Just a few moments later, after taking a few more knocks to the head, Rojas is down for the 4th and final time. After a quick chat with the referee, Rojas decides enough is enough and throws in the towel. We carry on with the boxing matches, and this one is a quick clip in round 2 of this match. The guy in the white shorts, after taking a left hook to the head, thinks it's okay to do a little dance, a small hop and a skip, flings his arm out, and seems to be having a fun time. Meanwhile, his opponent gives him a quick punch to the head with his right hand, and down white shorts goes. He didn't even see it coming. In this next boxing match, we join Thurman against Collazo, where we find at the end of round 5, Collazo chasing down the unbeaten Thurman. Raining down as many blows as possible, Collazo has definitely got the upper hand at this point, and he knows it, and wants to make sure Thurman and the crowd know it. He gives a little confident nod and mouth wide open, with a look of victory planted firmly on his face. As they continue on through round 5 and 6, it is evident the tables are turning. Thurman continuously punches Collazo to the head, causing excessive bleeding from his eye. By this time, Collazo has no choice but to admit that he can no longer see, and the match is stopped, making Thurman the winner. In this next fight, we see Filipino fighter Michael Farinas take on undefeated cocky boxer Mark Davis. Right from the start, Farinas came out fighting, getting plenty of punches in. At one point, Davis gives a little shake of his head as if to say, "You don't stand a chance." All through the rounds, Farinas doesn't stop giving out the left-hand power punches to Davis's head. Davis tries to fight back, but by round 8, Davis is all over the place, hardly being able to stay upright. This is the point where the referee decides enough is enough and declares Farinas the winner. Up next is Garcia against Salka, and we catch up with them with just 35 seconds left in round 2. All boxers should know that it doesn't pay to invite your opponent to give you more. In this short clip, we see Salka almost saying to Garcia, "Is that all you got?" Well, Garcia doesn't need to be asked twice, because with one swift punch to Salka's left side and a right punch flying into his head, Salka is down and out for the count. Our next clip is something a little different. This time we're going to take a look at a young boxer challenging an old trainer to spar during a training session. Never underestimate a person just because they are older. As the saying goes, older and wiser, as this young lad found out. But what's really interesting about this clip is that the younger challenger spends most of his time running away from the trainer, maybe running a little scared. It pays to remember that with age comes experience and knowledge. Our last fight features Quincy Wesby against Javier Rodriguez, and in this match, it is obvious who the cocky fighter is. We join this fight in round 4, and up until this point, it's been a challenging fight for both of these guys, both getting a fair amount of punches in. This is the time that Wesby not only shows little respect for the referee, but also decides to do a few facial expressions, playing at being the big shot, taunting Rodriguez. Next thing you know, Rodriguez slips a superb left-handed punch to his opponent's head and knocks him clean off his feet. Stunned is an understatement. Wesby is unable to get to his feet unaided. That's what we call getting his just desserts. So that's it for our video clips. Which was your favorite? Please let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Brutal TV for more top fighting videos just like this one. Thanks for watching. During the end of the 3rd round, this fighter was knocked to the ground for the first time, but he stood up and faced the crowd while raising his hand. Again, during the end of the 4th round, he was knocked down with his knees on the canvas. This time around, he screamed out loud before standing up that you would think he's ready to win the fight. However, about a minute later, he received a brutal left hook that sent him back to the floor. This cocky fighter let down his guard after struggling to hit his opponent in a failed attempt. However, instead of defending himself, he stood there staring at his opponent, who first threw a left hook. Next, he used his head to push him forward a little to put him in a perfect position for the brutal left hook that was about to follow. He staggered for a moment before falling backward like a log of wood on the canvas.
Honestly, I don't know who the fuck to trust. Is he my friend or my foe? I'm off the exit, bro. Yeah, she give me that claim as well. I remember back when I was younger, I was happy. Nowadays feel like no one understand me. I'm good at artists, silly on block, Bambi. Baby's yellow, text. She wanna eat me like candy. Running through racks, track me. I'll run up the racks like an athlete. Big facts, you're the dick, 6 flags. Ballin' like think flags, told her I love her. I ain't really mean that, yeah.
Nowadays these people are funny. Remember way back she was love. These bitches sneaky can't come. I got 4 hoes that went top. I remember I was selling dog food, no kibbles, just to get me some skrilla. Remember I was really on the block like Tetris, just to get me some chip.